Hello, dear friends. Hope everybody's doing good. The Lord has brought something to my attention that I want to share and something that I must do and learn more about and really excited about. Um, please listen to this. Please listen. I'm going to try to keep it short. Please contemplate it. It's not as exciting as dreams and revelations and visions about the Lord returning, but this can make a huge difference in our lives today, starting today. And it is the way of the Lord. And I'm so thankful that He's brought my attention to this. I want to share it. I'm going to put some scriptures in the description. And it's got to do with being offended. Please don't shut this off. Start with a couple of scriptures. Proverbs 12:16 says, "A fool is known at once, but the prudent and the wise ignores and overlooks an insult or an offense." Before I started walking with the Lord, I was offended daily, left and right. Somebody was always saying something that set me off, offended me, insulted me. As we walk with the Lord more and more, get to know Him, understanding His Word, we become less and less offended. This is something that the Lord overcomes in us. Proverbs 19:11 says, "Good sense makes one slow to anger. It is His glory to overlook an offense." This is something that's easy to talk about and read about, but impossible to do without the Lord teaching us and guiding us, correcting us, getting to know Him more so that we might be like Him more in this world. But when the rubber meets the road is when we are going along our daily life and someone crosses us, someone offends us. Think about it. Doesn't it happen all the time? What do we do once we are offended? Once we feel that blood boiling inside? We want to get on the phone and tell somebody about it. Can you believe what so-and-so said to me? All these kind of things. Psalm 119, 165, it says, "Great peace have those who love your law. Nothing can make them stumble or be offended." This is how we are becoming. This is what the power and love and teaching of the Lord will do in us, that we can go along and come to the point that we're not offended at these comments, at these actions, at these ways that people treat us. We will not be offended. That is not something we can do on our own. That is not natural for a human being. This comes by renewing of our mind, the Lord changing the way we think, by practicing this truth in day-to-day situations, real life circumstances. So, let's see. Let me keep going. Proverbs 29:11. "A fool gives vent to his anger, but a wise man holds it back." If you offend somebody, it says that a fool or the unwise, you will quickly know that you have offended someone. But the wise man, you won't even know that you offended him. He's not going to let that show. Even if he was offended in his heart, he will act differently with that than the normal person, the unwise person, the unlearned person, one that has not yet been changed by the Lord. Proverbs 18:19 says, "A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city." Once that offense has occurred and that damage is done, if it is not repaired, if something is not done, then that brother, consider him lost and gone. Losing of friends. I've lost one particular I can think of in my life over an offense that was not dealt with. I wasn't walking with the Lord at that time. Matthew 5:21 through 24, it's talking about when you are coming to give an offering. If you're coming to the Lord to talk to Him, to pray to Him, but you remember that a brother has an offense against you, the Lord brings the thought that your husband's upset with you right now. You did something and said something that bothered him. He's offended. Stop praying. Go to your husband, your friend, your daughter, your family member, whoever it might be. Gently go and say, I know I have offended you and upset you. Please forgive me. How hard is that to do? It's very hard, isn't it? What must happen in order to do that? We must humble ourselves. Even if we can justify what we did or said, it matters not. Someone is offended. Somebody might say, well, if I worried about that, then I'd be doing this all day long. This is something we can go to the Lord and talk with Him about. We have to start somewhere. Look up the scriptures about offense. It's very closely related with the word sin. Scriptures that say, search me if I have any sin in me. Search me, O God. See what offenses I have in me. It's big. So how can we start to put this into practice? And I pray that the Lord bring to my mind and your mind as we go about our days, the very next time that we feel offended, that we stop and say, okay, here's an opportunity. The Lord wants to teach me something about this. It is true. Offense and being offended is huge in my walk with the Lord. Go to the Lord. Lord, I am offended right now. What that person said has bothered me, hurt me, insulted me, wounded me. I feel offense against that person. I feel they owe me an apology. I'm thinking bad about that person right now because of what they did to me or said to me. Lord, I'm coming to you. Rather than responding quickly to that person or insulting them back or being snide or ignoring them, not speaking with them. Rather than being hurt and wounded and letting them know about it, I'm coming to you, Lord. Please help me. What am I to learn here? What do you want to show me, Lord? How in this world can I overlook this offense? Because hasn't He overlooked our offenses towards Him? We have to learn how to do it for others. We can't do it on our own. We need the Lord's help. So we have many opportunities throughout our days, being offended, to go to the Lord, talk with Him about it first. Pour out your anger, your hurt, the offense. Pour it out to Him. It is safe to go to the Lord and do that behind closed doors, rather than calling that friend, rather than consulting with that person or firing back at the one who offended us. Go to the Lord and say, Lord, please help me here. I'm highly offended. I'm hurt. I'm wounded. Talk with Him about why you feel justified in what you said or did to that person. Talk with Him about how it doesn't make sense, why they would be upset with me. Talk with Him about everything. Wait. Listen. Look up some scriptures about easily angered, easily offended. Look up scriptures about insults, all these kind of things. And the Lord will teach us more and show us more and change us in such a way that we will not be quick to be offended. Others' words and actions will not get us off course. Love will cover. It is our glory to overlook. We need the Lord's help to teach us how to overlook those offenses, that we might have peace with all men, as the Bible tells us, living good conscience towards them, forgiving quickly, overlooking the offenses. This is only something that can be done by the Lord in us. Learning of Him, because that's the way He is. He's slow to anger, slow to offense, and we are called to be the same. Don't let these words condemn you. If you hear truth, if you're met with truth, rejoice that the Lord is shining His light into our heart to show us areas that He still wants to work on in us, that we might grow in wisdom, mature to the full stature of Christ. You know, and go to Him and talk with Him about it. That's what I wanted to share, just a little bit there. Overlooking offenses. To be offended, there's a lot to learn. I've got a lot to learn, and I've got someone to go to say, you know, I feel like you're offended with me. And listen to them. Listen to their heart. Listen how my words or actions hurt them. Even if I think it was nothing, you know. And rather than responding in a defensive way, like I need to take up for myself or defend myself, just let all those walls fall down and listen and be with them in that moment and hear them. You know, might be dealing with somebody that's offended a lot, but I am to care about what hurt them. I'm to care about how I grieved them or hurt their feelings or whatever the case may be. I just need the Lord to help me to hear, to listen, to care, to offer my forgiveness, and depend on the Lord to help me not to offend others, you know? And that's what I have to do today. So I hope that could help somebody. Love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.